What is going on, guys? It's Zigzag here, and welcome to the final episode of the Road to 24,000 points, 10 seconds, no moving, panning, or zooming. And you know what that means? It means I finally got it. So I actually did this one a bit differently. Instead of playing it live, I recorded it just while I was listening to some podcasts, and I decided to do the commentary afterwards. And so I've compiled all my best guesses with the actual game at the end. So you're going to see a bunch of 23,000 plus ones, some absolutely insane guesses. You got to stay tuned for this, guys. And yeah, let's get straight into it. So I'm just going to commentate them as they play. Let's get straight into it at 4 seconds here. So here is the first map. This one's clearly Ghana with the car. And I ended up guessing on the same... I happened to click on this same little lake that I guessed on another one for a different insane guess. Different round, but we get 7 kilometers away there, which is a crazy start. This was one of my first attempts as I started recording. Then this one's pretty clearly Finland or Sweden. I decided to go pretty far north here. Ends up being a little further south, but still a decent guess there. Then this one we have the Taiwanese poles. I decided to go northern, and we're 13 kilometers again. So these two, the first guess and the third guess, were insane. This one is a pretty clear Tunisia. Definitely feeling south on this one, so I go Sfax. Pretty sure it's actually more southern here. It's definitely very dry looking. Yeah, a little bit further south there, so 115 kilometers away. So we're still on pace here. Yeah, we're still in contention. And then I get this one, it's Malaysia. So I go Borneo, and I'm considering. I end up switching here. Look, I switch with 1 second to go. No cigar, it didn't register in time, but we would have missed out anyway just. So we get 21,000. We could have probably had 23,000 and a half. Yeah, but here's the next attempt. So this one, looking definitely quite American. We got American style sign there. Considering. I end up going Oregon. Kind of has a West Coast feel to it. Actually, other side of Eugene, so a really nice guess there for sure. Next one, we have the Cambodia Beer Company, so we know we're going to be in Cambodia. Not a fantastic guess, 4.3k. It's pretty bad, to be honest. But the next one's an easy Malta. So this is when I started to think, okay, this one has still some potential in it, so we're still in contention here. Or no, we're just out of contention, but the next two rounds are really nice as well. So this one was a Newfoundland. For whatever reason, Newfoundland is just my absolute jam. I always guess in the right area. Unfortunately, I moved my cursor a little bit further away from where it actually was. And this one, just definitely had northern South Africa vibes, kind of those wide trees, kind of more like Zimbabwe, Mozambique feel. We'll get 57 kilometers away, so a 23.4. Really nice, obviously 600 points away from what we needed, but still good. So this one definitely had a Malaysia feel to it, I guess northern or central Malaysia here. Can't remember how close this was, let's see. This one, okay, I end up changing it last minute and we get a little closer, or I don't know actually if it registered, but 84 kilometers away is a good start. We've got a South African taxi here, so that makes things nice and easy. I end up going a little bit south of Johannesburg, near Lesotho, and 271k, so not the greatest score, but still decent. Then we have a Kampala car, so all of a sudden we are back in contention because those rounds get you a lot of points. So we're still technically in contention here. We got yellow plates. So definitely thinking Colombia. A bit of an inspired guess here, I guess, on the other side of the mountains, which I normally miss. But it ends up being on that side of the mountains, so 136 kilometers away. So out of contention now, but still on track for a really nice score nonetheless. And this one's just an easy Taiwan. And I go southern here. I go Tainan City. I think it's Taichung. Yeah, it's actually Taichung City. But yeah, we end up with 23.3. So another nice seed. No, it doesn't quite go halfway, but I was working towards it, guys. So this one with the red markings on the road was a repeat round. That's why I was able to get so close. I just remembered it. And yeah, so 35 kilometers away. I think I'd had that maybe yesterday or something like that. But yeah, I was able to get that one, 4.9k, so obviously a really nice start. This one definitely had Helsinki vibes to it, where it's almost looks like a North American city, but yeah, actually really in close there. So this one was a really nice start for sure. Next one, I'm pretty sure this one ended up being Hungary. Yeah, I end up going for Hungary here. I click near Budapest. Then I kind of think it actually kind of reminds me of Slovakian or Czechian or Czech kind of architecture. So I go closer and 33 kilometers. So this one, I was starting to sweat. I was like, this one could be a crazy score because we're on track for, massive score here. And look at this flag. Look at the flag in the middle screen. So I was thinking it was the American flag. I was like, where is this, bro? Okay, so I go Hawaii. Of course, that's actually a Malaysian flag. I felt so silly, so I just had to include that. Got baited by the Malaysian flag there. In hindsight, it's an easy round, but at the time, it felt super difficult. And so this one was kind of like a South Africa-Botswana toss-up. End up going South Africa near Eswatini here, and was it a good guess? Yeah, kind of on the other side of Pretoria, so only 18k there, but I just thought that was funny. Next one, We start off in Germany, definitely like a typical looking German round here. I clicked first off in Berlin. I think I actually changed my guess here. Ended up changing it, but no, it was in Berlin. Oh, it was Dusseldorf. Okay, so it actually changed, and I get super close with a very last minute guess there. 7 kilometers away. This one is like an obvious northern Sri Lanka. It tends to get much drier in the north and kind of has this kind of look to it. Almost looks South American, so I guess very far north here. Ends up being 20 kilometers away. Really nice guess there. Just in a short drive's distance. So that's a nice one. Next one is South Africa. I can't quite read the sign there. I don't really think it's quite legible, but I can kind of like make out that the area should be somewhere around the capital here. And look, 17 kilometers away. Beautiful stuff. Just a plonk. That is just a plonk. So again, on this one, we are on track for an incredible score if we have some nice rounds here. Well, 14,886. We were on a crazy score here. Anyway, this one's clearly Norway, but I'm not really sure where. There's like a distinct lack of trees on the mountains, so I kind of thought middle. Ends up being south. So 4.1k, again, like you just have to get lucky with this, and that's kind of one of those rounds that can go either way. On the face of it, I thought this was New Zealand, but I could see that I was a Finnish road sign said TIE for road or street. So I went southern here just because I thought that would probably make sense. Ended up being a little further north, so 23,100. But man, if I was better at the Nordic area, that would have been a crazy one. So we wake up here. We got a white plate, so this should either be Jordan um, or Israel. I go for Jordan here and Amman, and it is 10 kilometers away, so that one was a nice freebie. Amman is like one of the best places for 24k runs. Anyway, this one was clearly Spain, wasn't quite sure where, opted for North, ends up being a decent guess, 4.3, not really what you want. So then I started going quickly. I ended up slamming in there, and Thailand, man, 22 kilometers away. That's one of my best Thai guesses in ages, guys. Red car, so a clear Bangladesh. I just go for Dakar because I'm still in contention here technically. Was hoping for a plonk. Still 4.5k is fine, but not quite there. And then South Africa, I just go straight for the south coast because I know I'm out of contention. Still a nice guess, but we get 23.2. So you can see lots of like lower 23,000 guesses here. Okay, so here's the next one. It's Romanian bollard, so I knew it's Romania. Kind of just had that feel where it kind of looked more like Bulgaria, so I guess down in the south. 16 kilometers away, one of my nicest Romania guesses in a while, definitely. Bit of a plonk there. Next one was Korea, and look. So when I was going in for this one, I was too focused on the new map. I just realized while I was making this guess that they actually updated the map. It looks much nicer. They used to have kind of like an unofficial looking map for South Korea because SK Telecoms owns like the rights to the maps in South Korea, so everything was like misaligned. And anyway, they didn't used to have this map, but I just realized that they updated it so it actually looks like a proper Google map. And and so I didn't really think about where I was going to guess here. So I was just looking at the screen at this point. I wasn't actually thinking about where I'm going to guess. Anyway, I just left it in the center. It ended up being a bit further north, so we lack some points there, but still 4.7k is, it's a good effort. It's enough to continue on, of course. Next one, we got a little flag on the antenna. Definitely, like the pole had kind of like had like a Bulgarian vibe to me. So I go in the mountains here. Definitely feels kind of alpine almost. So go in the mountains and 20 kilometers away. So these two alpine guesses in Romania and Bulgaria were actually crazy. That's why I included this one. Next one was clearly Indonesia, but I wasn't quite sure where. When I see the black car, I often like to go in Borneo, so I ended up clicking just southern Borneo here. Ends up being Sulawesi. Kind of feel a bit unlucky on that one, but that's the way it's going to go. And then I kind of lost all inspiration when I saw this Patagonia round. I don't know, when it comes to Patagonia, I just guess, so I went there. And we're not too far away, I think, but yeah, ends up being 300k's away. So yeah, 21.8. I mean, it had just such a promising start, but the Indonesia really put the nail in the coffin. Next one has a Victoria Poles. I knew it was somewhere in Victoria. I end up going near St. Arnaud or Matoa, and we are 36 kilometers away, so just a really nice Australia guess. Obviously, I practiced there a lot, so makes sense. Next one's another Newfie, and you guys are going to see my Newfie senses tingling once again, and watch this. This is a nice guess. I just guessed that near there. I don't really know why I went there, but look, 24 kilometers away, right on that peninsula. So I don't even know if that was the best guess, because there should have been like water to the north, but whatever, it worked. This one was a really interesting one. It looks super like green, kind of Generation 2, so was thinking Tasmania, but where is this flat? Because normally Tasmania is quite mountainous, so we end up picking the exact right valley there, where there's no mountains. So 18 kilometers away, man, I was on track for a good score here, guys. We were on a massive one, and of course USA shows its ugly face, and I think I just saw like a lot of crops, so I thought like Ohio, Indiana kind of area would make sense, kind of flat rolling landscape. Ends up being near Kansas City in Missouri, so yeah, no can do there. And then we have double white lines here. I think I recognized that those were Polish bollards in the background. I ended up going north of Warsaw, kind of had more of like a Baltic vibe to me. Ends up being in the north, but further over near Germany, so 21.9. Again, another round that was, had so much potential on rounds 1, 2, and 3. That was kind of a running theme for some of these. Okay, so this one, we have these tricycles, and I often see those inside Peru, and I guess in the biggest city inside the Amazon, Iquitos, and that ends up being the right one. I mean, I don't think I've ever gotten that one right before, but something about the tricycles gave it away to me, so that was a really nice guess. And we, fortunately enough, had the yellow plate here with the hills to say that we were confidently somewhere in West Bank or Israel. End up going north of Jerusalem and 14 kilometers away, so we were on a flying start here. Look at this, 9.947. Next one is kind of just like a generic kind of like birch trees and Scots pines. I end up going in the islands of Estonia, and it's actually in Latvia, so a good enough score. So 4.7 there around. Next one was kind of generic Europe. Man, this was a really tough one. I ended up going Slovakia. I still probably would like Slovakia better than Czechia here for that one. So let me know if there's a clue I could have used, but it was Czechia, unfortunately, 4.2. So again, we're just out of contention here. And of course, another Patagonia round 5 is just devastating. I ended up going pretty far north here. I'm pretty sure this is a decent amount further south, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So yeah, not fantastic. 21.5, but we're approaching the 24, guys. Don't worry. You're gonna want to see it. It's quite a clutch little round. So next one we have, okay, now we have some just like honorable mention guesses where like they were just so good I had to include them. So that's a 28 kilometer Brazil south. I mean, not the hardest round ever, but still just a massive and beautiful plonk there. Here's another just like random one. White road lines on the outside made me think of Taiwan more than anywhere else, but I go southern because it kind of looks like elsewhere, and 6 kilometers away, guys. Eesh, that's a nice guess. So close. Obviously, Taiwan's pretty small, but yeah. Okay, and here's the last honorable mention before we get into the run itself. So we have the black and white poles, and I was just feeling Peru on this day, man. So I go up in the mountains here, where it gets a bit greener, and look, 4 kilometers away, literally the nearest town by far. What a guess. What a guess. Beautiful stuff. Okay, so guys, here we are. 24K, guys. Strap in, okay? Here we go. This is what everyone is waiting for. This is what probably some of you skip forward to. So here we go. Enjoy. So the first one here, that kind of sign definitely indicates like Malaysia. It looked like Borneo, but I didn't think it was. Also, I think Gen 4, I don't know if they have Gen 4 or Borneo. So end up going near Borneo on the other coast. Pays off, 4.7. Obviously a nice start. Okay, so next one, here's what the round looks like. The dotted lines on the outside and the French-style poles definitely meant that Senegal was a must here, but I still had to get a nice guess because that is a fairly big country. So I thought built up, urban, like kind of like a reddish dirt. So I definitely thought it reminded me of Dakar area. Also these or whatever that, however you pronounce that, tees, however you pronounce that, kind of remind me more of that area. So I just guess a little north of there, and yeah, ends up being 40 kilometers away. So yeah, just really nice. Not much to say there though. Next one. This one is interesting. Here's what it looked like. We got like shutters on the windows. These red shutters, that's definitely what I looked at to make me go France, because France, as opposed to other European countries, definitely like shutters the most. Obviously, Italy does too, but Italy wouldn't really fit for this architecture. So yeah, I guess it was just quite a French looking round. And so I ended up getting a really nice plonk here. Obviously, it's not the right town, but I go in Troyes, or however you pronounce that. And it is over in one of the next towns, 97 kilometers away. So that is a really nice French guess. Obviously, France being a pretty big country. So I was on track. Let's see what the next one is. So next one, I was very pleased to just see a South Korea. You can just see it from the winter coverage and all that. And I don't really know where to go. I just go south of Seoul here because I know there's quite a lot of coverage up there. Ends up being outskirts of Seoul. I probably would have had about the same amount of points if I went elsewhere. But here's the final round. So I'm hoping at this point, I have my fingers crossed before I react to what we've got in front of us. I was like, just give me something easy. Just give me something easy, man. And check out what we get. Okay, so we got the Kenya car. Obviously, that already makes things nice. It's the black car. And we have this kind of like white soil on the outside of the road. And I was like, surely not Mombasa. Because Mombasa, I don't know if you guys like know too much, but let me pull up the mini map here. So I'm looking. Mombasa is where a lot of the coverage ends here. So Okay, so Mombasa, like this highway up here, there's coverage on there, but you don't see it much, and a lot of the urban coverage is up near Nairobi. Mombasa itself is kind of unique in Kenya because it has the white soil, whereas the rest of the country kind of has like a brown or orangier soil. And so I was like, man, this is it. I didn't know for sure because it wasn't the easiest ever Mombasa around. Sometimes it looks really dry and you can tell it because of that. Really dry and white sand, but man, I was happy to get this Mombasa, and I just knew it. I just knew it had to be. I wasn't 100% sure, but yeah, I just had to guess there, right? And look at this, 4.1 kilometers away. I was over the moon, 24,249. So guys, this is what it looked like. Absolutely nailed all these guesses. Like, France was the worst one, and yet that was probably the guess I was happiest with. Like, it was an easy seed overall. Only one European round. Obviously, no America, no Russia, no Canada, no Brazil. So that's pretty much what you need for a great score. But yeah, let's run through these rounds. I think I zoom in on them after I got it. But yeah, that's almost. So guys, to put this into perspective, 24,249 is only 10 points or 20 points behind my all-time best score, and it's even better than my best no-moving score. So my best 10-second NMPZ score is better than my best no-moving score. So kind of crazy. Anyway, so here was the Malaysia. Yeah, a really nice guess. Just not too much to that one. The Korea, I probably could have gotten closer. I probably could have clicked closer there, but that's all hindsight. The France one is probably the best guess, despite being the furthest away, as I said. And then when it comes to the Senegal, that was pretty easy, just kind of a bit of a plonk. Always nice to get those ones. And then, of course, Kenya came in clutch. So many times I've had a hard round 5, and luckily this time we got the easy round 5, which is just fantastic. Guys, there we have it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing me get the 24K finally. I'll go back to some more live ones because I want 24.5 now. So I don't really know if that's actually possible. You got to let me know if you want to see it, or if you think there's another like series or achievement that I should try and go for. But there you have it. 24,249 is a pretty fantastic score. Definitely happy with that. Definitely that doesn't put me on the leaderboards or anything, but that definitely puts me probably, you know, I don't think many people have achieved that. Let's just say that. I mean, a lot of good players have, but for me, that was pretty special to get it. It took a few hours. If you're wondering, like, this probably took like 3 hours of filming, so that's how long it took me to actually get the record. And I probably could have done it sooner. I just was a bit like, I don't know, I was a bit mentally fatigued by the end there. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate everyone who stayed till the end, and well, no doubt you did for this one because that was a pretty sick ending. But yeah, guys, I'll see you guys in a video very soon. Let me know if you like this like commentary style as well. But yeah, I'll see you guys in a video soon. Catch you later. Goodbye.